Owning a franchise. Have you ever thought about owning a franchise? We're going to talk today a little bit about the pros and cons of owning a house cleaning franchise. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question and I get to help you find an answer. Now today's show is brought to us by housecleaning360.com. And what that is a 360 view of the perfect home. It's an international database that has a whole bunch of people that are designed and trained to help you. Now the holidays are coming, you're going to have family coming in, you're going to need somebody to jump in and get your house ready for your Christmas party and your family guests. Housecleaning360.com is the place to go. They've got all kinds of specialists designed to help you with your house cleaning, your professional organizing. Maybe you're a hoarder and you need some junk removal. Maybe you just need help bringing the decorations down from the attic and helping set them up. Housecleaning360.com has you covered. Alrighty, now on to our show. Today's question comes from a business owner who's going to start a cleaning business and wants to know if he should go out on his own as an independent or if he should just buy a franchise. Now, we don't talk a lot about franchises here on this show, but what if we did? So today we're going to talk a little bit about the pros and cons of owning a cleaning franchise. All right, now the very first thing about owning a cleaning franchise is that instead of you starting from scratch and building a business and trying to figure out all the ins and outs and go through all the training and stuff you have to do to start a business, you basically just step in to an existing business. And by stepping into an existing business, what that allows you to do is it allows you to not reinvent the wheel. The wheel already exists and it's connected to a wagon that is rolling. You just jump on the wagon and away you go. Now there's a price associated with that. The benefit, or one of the pros, is that you jump on the wagon and away you go. One of the cons is that that is not free. You got to pay for that. And so instead of just starting a startup business and paying as you go, there's a big upfront down payment cost. And then as the wagon starts going along, they're going to collect a little bit of your money every job you do. They're going to collect a percentage of what you earn. And that is the price for riding on the wagon. All right, now the good news is this. Although there's a huge upfront cost usually associated with buying a franchise, because you're hopping on an existing wagon, which is an existing brand, an existing name that has success in the cleaning industry, when you go to get financing from the bank, you're more likely to get financing if you have a franchise backing you. Whereas if you're a small mom and pop company, you don't need the loan because you don't have the big down payment. And so all you're doing is you're paying as you go for your cleaning supplies, your vehicle, your transportation, which is the gas, the insurance, that kind of stuff. And then the basic costs that are your own personal bonding and insurance and all the other little costs that are associated with running a business. All right, now, one of the pros of the franchise is that they have national advertising. They have a known name. You don't have to go in and reinvent the wheel and say, hey, I'm John Jones Company and we do house cleaning. You don't have to re-educate the market. You just already slap a design on your car or magnets or whatever it is that the franchise company has, and away you go. And people are like, oh yes, I recognize this brand. I've seen it in many different neighborhoods. So you're already jumping onto an existing platform of a brand name. And so the benefit is that you already have marketing in place. The con is that you got to pay for it. So instead of paying for your own little area and your own little neighborhood that you're marketing to, you're marketing on a national scale. And so now you're paying for AdWords and you're paying for keywords and you're paying for national websites and social media and all kinds of stuff that the company already has in place. That is not cheap. And so that is a cost of doing business. One of the pros of the franchise is that they have all the social media in place and they have all the websites and they have all that stuff already in place. So you don't have to go again and recreate all that stuff from scratch. You just use the stuff that they have. Now, one of the benefits of belonging to the franchise is they have a training system already in place. They already have a way of doing things. You don't have to reinvent that wheel. You just jump into their training sessions and you learn the way they do things and then you go do it. It's so easy. Of course, you're paying for that. But one of the cons of following their training system is there's very little flexibility. because you bought into the franchise, you have to do things exactly the way they showed you. And as a business owner, as a small business owner, if someone says, hey, can you do these special extra projects? As a small business owner and your own company, you can say, yes, I can. Whereas with the franchise, you can say, sorry, that's not a service that we offer. And so you don't have as much control. So there are pros and cons to doing both. One of the fun things about the franchise is that it's like a business in a box. You can be up and running almost instantaneously. And so you dump your money down and you say, yes, I would like to buy a franchise. You go through the training, you hire the people, boom, you're out the door. Now, the con of that is the business in a box is not as resaleable. You can sell your business if you decide to get out of it. So the exit strategy is a little bit different, but you probably will never recoup your upfront costs. The people that I've talked to and industry professionals that have spoken about it will say you can sell your business, but it's like depreciation on a car. It's never quite worth what you initially paid for it. So there are pros and cons to owning a franchise, and there are pros and cons to owning your own business and just starting it from scratch and doing it as you go. But a couple of those things I wanted you to be aware of. I'm not saying one is better than the other. There are certainly people that are better fit for a franchise because they need the structure and they need somebody to report back to, and they don't mind paying the percentage every month of their earnings to have that brand already known name and the websites and the social media and all that stuff. There are other people that don't have the upfront capital, that don't want to take out the loans, and they're okay building the business as they go. So I'm not saying one is better than the other. It's kind of a judgment based on your own personal business style. Anyway, but those are a couple of pros and cons that you should think about if you're thinking about owning a franchise. Alrighty, my 2 cents for today, and until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.